Quote, a brave YouTuber has managed to defeat a fake Nintendo lawyer improperly targeting his channel with copyright takedowns that could have seen his entire channel removed if YouTube issued one more strike. But this is probably just the most recent high-profile instance of this happening, as it is a common enough issue on YouTube as a whole. Creators are no strangers to false claim, and if you're on the platform long enough, chances are you're likely to have one happen to you as well. No one really knows how much copyright abuse occurs on YouTube. According to YouTube, about 6% of removals from July to December 2023 were abusive, along with 10 times more attempted abuse removals. But if a significant number of users never flag abuse out of fear they could be sued for contributing to copyright infringement, then the true figure could be higher. Hello fellow travelers and welcome to the Hard Light Network. So today we are talking about the latest in DMCA drama to strike the platform as a YouTuber was hit with a false DMCA claim from a fake Nintendo lawyer. But this is probably just the most recent high-profile instance of this happening, as it is a common enough issue on YouTube as a whole. Creators are no strangers to false claim, and if you're on the platform long enough, chances are you're likely to have one happen to you as well. Of course, today we are going to talk about this specific situation with this fake Nintendo lawyer, but we're also going to cover the DMCA system as a whole at the end of the video. But of course, before we can get into it guys, please do me a solid and hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss out on any content I've got coming up in the future, and also take to the comment section down below with your opinion on the matter. That is of course the best way to support this channel, but also to add momentum to this conversation about the blind spots in YouTube's DMCA system. But if you also wanted to go that extra mile, there is a super thanks option down below. With that being said, let's get into this article. And of course, today's article comes to us from Ars Technica and is entitled YouTuber Won DMCA Fight with Fake Nintendo Lawyer by Detecting Spoofed Email. Quote, a brave YouTuber has managed to defeat a fake Nintendo lawyer improperly targeting his channel with copyright takedowns that could have seen his entire channel removed if YouTube issued one more strike. Sharing his story with The Verge, Dominic Domtendo Neumeier, a German YouTuber who broadcasted playthroughs of popular games for 17 years, said that it all started when YouTube removed some videos from his channel that were centered on The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Those removals came after a pair of complaints were filed under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, DMCA, and generated 2 strikes. Everyone on YouTube knows that 3 strikes means you're out and off the platform permanently. Suddenly, at risk of losing the entire channel he had built on YouTube, Neumeier was stunned, The Verge noted, partly because most game companies consider Let's Play videos like his to be free marketing, not a threat to their business. And while Nintendo has been known to target YouTubers with DMCA takedowns, it generally, historically, took no issues with accounts like his. For many YouTubers, a DMCA takedown request is considered too risky to challenge, even if it's obviously fake. The risk of losing their channels outweighs the risk of losing income from removing specific videos at issue, so users often choose to delete content voluntarily rather than defend their content. Copyright trolls try to benefit from this, getting content removed that otherwise would remain on the platform and sometimes attempting to push users to submit unnecessary payments. No one really knows how much copyright abuse occurs on YouTube. According to YouTube, about 6% of removals from July to December 2023 were abusive, along with 10 times more attempted abuse removals. But if a significant number of users never flag abuse out of fear they could be sued for contributing to copyright infringement, then the true figure could be higher. Neumeier clearly took a long, hard look at the DMCA takedown request before making any rash decisions about submitting to the claims. That's when he noticed something strange. The requests were signed by Tatsumi Masaki, Nintendo Legal Department, Nintendo of America. But the second one, curiously, came from a personal account at an encrypted email service, Tatsumi Masaki at protonmail.com, The Verge reported. Defending his livelihood, Neumeier started asking questions. At first, that led to his videos being reinstated, but the victory was short-lived as the supposed Nintendo lawyer only escalated his demands, spooking the YouTuber into voluntarily removing some videos, The Verge reported, while continuing to investigate the potential troll. The Verge has all the receipts, sharing emails from the fake lawyer and detailing Neumeier's fight blow for blow. Neumeier ultimately found that there was a patent lawyer with a similar name name working for Nintendo in Japan, although he could not tell if that was the person sending the demands, and Nintendo would not confirm to The Verge if Tatsumi Masaki exists. Only after contacting Nintendo directly did Neumeier finally get some information he could work with to challenge the takedowns. Reportedly, Nintendo replied, telling Neumeier that the fake lawyer's Proton email address is, quote, not a legitimate Nintendo email address, and the details contained within the communication do not align with Nintendo of America Inc.'s enforcement practices. Nintendo promised to investigate further, as Neumeier continued to receive demands from the fake lawyer. It took about a week after Nintendo's response for Tatsumi to start to stand down, writing in a stunted email to Neumeier, I hereby retract all of my preceding claims. But even then, the troll went down fighting, The Verge reported. The final messages from this supposed Mr. Tatsumi claimed that he had only been suspended from filing claims and threatened that other Nintendo lawyers would be refiling them. He then sent what The Verge describes as, in some ways, the most legit-looking email yet, using a publicly available web tool to spoof an official Nintendo email address while continuing to menace Neumeier. It was that spoofed email that finally ended the facade, though, The Verge reported. Neumeier detected the spoof by checking the headers and IDing the tool used. Although this case of copyright trolling is seemingly over, Neumeier, along with a couple of other gamers trolled by Mr. Tatsumi, remain frustrated with YouTube. The Verge reported, after his fight with the fake Nintendo lawyer, Neumeier wants the streaming platform to update its policies and make it easier for YouTubers to defend against copyright issues. Back in May, when Ars reported on a YouTuber dismayed by a DMCA takedown over a washing machine chime heard on his video, a YouTube researcher and director of policy and advocacy for the Electronic Frontier Foundation, Catherine Trendacosta, told Ars that YouTube's current process discourages YouTubers from disputing copyright strikes. Quote, every idiot can strike every YouTuber, and there is nearly no problem to do so. It's insane, Neumeier said. It has to change now. And there you have it, guys. Just another more recent account of a veteran YouTuber being harassed through the faulty DMCA system. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the YouTube monetization process, as well as the risk of being struck by DMCA claims, you might be wondering what the actual motivation could possibly be for a person to target someone like this. Why would someone put in seemingly so much effort just to strike down a YouTube video of all things? And while there are a range of possible explanations from the petty to the political, I think that this comment down at the bottom of the article sums up the problem most succinctly. With user Andrew CW responding to this comment, quote, what on earth could be the motivation for this not lawyer? A malicious thrill? To which Andrew replies, the goal is to take the monetization of videos. You get enough 200,000 plus videos under your belt for a form letter and a bot writing in requests. For little work, you can get in the $100,000 per year income, providing you don't get shut down. And I genuinely believe that is the bulk of the issue when it comes to the DMCA system, which is patently broken, in my opinion, and the opinion of many other YouTubers. Apart from launching your own investigation and gathering all of the evidence that you need, just like Neumeier did to support his own content, YouTube is not going to do much in the way of helping the content creator. Thankfully, some larger YouTubers are connected enough and know a few people within the YouTube company as a whole, but most of the smaller and mid-sized YouTubers pretty much have to struggle through this problem on their own. And not for nothing, but as it stands, there are more risks than just simply losing your channel when it comes to combating these DMCA takedowns. Primarily the risk of doxing. When filing a DMCA takedown, it requires little to no personal information on the part of the person filing it. However, if you were to file a counter notice and defend yourself against such a takedown, you would have to give your full legal name, address, phone number, and email, all of which goes directly to the person attacking you. For the most part, YouTube forces the person receiving the DMCA takedown request into the position of doxing themselves and handing over all of their personal information to a shadowy, unknown attacker. And while it is generally seen as a no-no and a social faux pas to take down the content of other YouTubers, there are several people who simply don't care and don't mind if they're known as a takedown artist. Sometimes it isn't even scammers that are after your ad revenue, but it's other YouTubers who don't like you and are trying to get your channel removed for dubious reasons. Maybe you created a piece of content that criticizes them or their behavior. Maybe they have a personal beef against you for something that you've done or said off-platform. Hell, some people are just crazy, and this is the path of least resistance when it comes to removing criticism, either real or imagined. And some bigger YouTubers will even try to insulate themselves from the social fallout of copyright striking other content creators by signing over the rights rights to third parties to act on their behalf. That's right, there are entire companies whose sole purpose it is to hunt down YouTube videos that are critical of their clients and to take them down. And while this system is often used for its intended purpose, namely the preventing of pirated copies of movies and music from being wrongfully distributed on the platform, there are entirely too many instances of the system being abused with little to no recourse on the part of the victim. And to tell you the honest truth, I genuinely believe that this problem can be solved by implementing just a few minor changes to the system. First and foremost, I genuinely feel as though if YouTube required the same amount of personal information from the person issuing the complaint as they do from the person receiving the complaint, the amount of false claims would drop dramatically. If complainants had to give their full legal name, address, phone number, and email, it might cause scammers to stop and think twice. Sure, you could argue that there are certainly ways around it. People could simply lie on these forums about their personal information, but when it inevitably goes to court, a fake person is not going to show up to defend their claim. Also, I genuinely feel like if YouTube handled the initial stages of these complaints in-house rather than outsourcing them immediately to the legal system, maybe it would also cut down on the severity and the amount of these false claims. Personally, I know of many YouTubers who have been able to appeal their claims to people that they know personally inside of YouTube headquarters, and that sure would be a nice process if it was accessible to every YouTuber rather than simply the ones that are well connected. This is such a serious issue, with people sometimes losing access to hundreds if not thousands of dollars of ad revenue, that it could put people in some serious financial issues if the wrong person targets them. And I know that as a viewer, you might seem less invested in the broken aspects of this system because it doesn't directly affect you. However, I can tell you that there isn't a quicker way to lose access to your favorite YouTuber than by demoralizing them through destroying their ad revenue. Nothing is more likely to make your favorite YouTuber stop creating the content that you love to watch every single week or every single month than attacking their livelihood. And it's honestly such a crying shame for a problem that seems like, on its surface at least, has an easy fix. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much to everybody who watched up to this point. I know that this video is more to do on the YouTuber/content creator side of the discussion rather than on the gaming aspect that you're used to, and I promise that we will be right back to the gaming content in the next video. But this is an important topic that I feel like affects many YouTubers across the board in all genres of content. This is a problem that as we grow this channel, we're only more and more likely to come across personally. And honestly, when it hits gaming channels like this, it really does affect the games preservation elements that we focus so heavily on this channel. Because even if games that you love to play are delisted, defunct, or lost through some other means, you could always go back to YouTube and watch gameplay walkthroughs and reviews on your favorite channels. But if that content is also put at risk, then we lose the risk of losing these games forever. So I implore you, if you care about your favorite content creators and the content that they make, as well as on a smaller angle, the preservation of the videos that they make, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content we've got coming up for you in the future, and also take to the comment section down below with your opinion. Of course, we've got much more coming up for you guys in the future, and as always, thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like, and until next time, love you guys, safe travels.